Today we're talking about one of the most lovable personalities the Red Wings have had in a while, Evgeny Svechnikov. Now, it's not a Red Wings topic per se as to why we're talking about Mr. Svechnikov here, but because it appears that he is on his way to a new home in the National Hockey League. Evgeny Svechnikov, 24 years old, taken in the first round of the 2015 NHL Entry Draft 19th overall by the Red Wings, is a free agent as of this year. His contract expired in 2020-2021, where he posted up 8 points in 21 games played with the Red Wings, and he had 2 points in 4 games played with the Grand Rapids Griffins. Now, he's been in the system for a long time, ever since he was drafted all the way back 6 years ago out of the Cape Breton Screaming Eagles system in the QMJHL. He's been a pretty high-profile player, mostly because his younger brother Andre, you might know him, he plays for the Carolina Hurricanes, and he happens to be one of the best young Russian players in the world. Needless to say, though, Evgeny has had not the same level of success in the slightest. He spent a boatload of his time ever since graduating from the QMJHL, up and down with Detroit and Grand Rapids. He's been slowed down a ton by injuries, and I'm not talking about slowed down in terms of development here. Well, I am, but I'm also talking about slowed down in terms of his foot speed on the ice, because knee injuries have been a really big problem for Svechnikov throughout his career. You take a look at what happened in 2018-19, he played 0 games, and in 2019-20, that's when he kind of came back, and the point production, it hasn't really been as good as it was in the past. Now he is a free agent, and it appears the Red Wings didn't sign on to this guy, because the certainty for his long-term future, it wasn't really guaranteed, and as we know, Steve Yzerman really likes to meticulously plan everything, which is why everybody is dubbing the Red Wings in their current rebuild as the Yzer plan. Either way, though, for Evgeny Svechnikov, off the ice, this guy has been one of the most lovable personalities the Red Wings have had in a while. He's always smiling, a really friendly character, and somebody that just exudes positivity in terms of the way he interacts with the media and teammates and whatnot. So, even though a lot of Red Wings fans are going to go out there and say that he isn't really the best hockey player he could have been, mostly due to injuries, he's still just a good guy who deserves the best. Definitely did not deserve any of the misfortunes he has had with his health. Either way, though, because he was a free agent, he is free to sign with whoever he wants, and a few days ago we had ourselves Ken Wiebe, a contributor to Sportsnet for Winnipeg, making a tweet that said this: "I'm hearing there's mutual interest between the Jets and former Red Wings forward Evgeny Svechnikov. He turns 25 in October, 19th overall pick in 2015, and he has 5 goals and 7 assists for 41 NHL games in total, spanning about 4 years, pretty much. He's hearing there is indeed mutual interest." Now, we had ourselves another update today, hearing that the mutual interest between the Jets and Svechnikov has initially led to a pro tryout offer, or, as most people refer to them, a PTO. Svechnikov had a shoulder issue cleaned this May, and expectation is he should be cleared to play around training camp. Once healthy, look for a 2-way deal. And you know, that's just kind of a testament to more of the injuries he has had. Knee stuff, shoulder stuff now. It's been a long road for Svechnikov, and it hasn't been smooth. But assuming this is true, giving him a PTO, eventually over to a 2-way deal, it actually looks like a pretty interesting kind of move for the Winnipeg Jets. Because everybody in Detroit kind of knows this, but Svechnikov does have, or at least he did have, potential. It's just due to factors out of his control, he wasn't really able to fulfill the potential he had. I mean, come on, his brother is Andrei Svechnikov, we all know how talented that guy is, and Evgeny was also a first-round pick in what was one of the best NHL drafts we have seen in years. May I remind you who went in 2015? McDavid, Eichel, Marner, Hanifin, Rantanen, Meyer, Besser, Barzal, Connor, Shabbat. Really good players in 2015, Svechnikov was supposed to be in that boat. So, this is the kind of guy who, if you send him over to a Winnipeg Jets team that could be looking for some depth scoring, firstly, you're going to want to make sure that he actually improves his foot speed. We did mention this a few times, but it is worth noting again, he's really not the most mobile guy out there. A lot of that has to do with the way his legs have developed throughout his career. Constant knee injuries are going to hurt you in that aspect for sure. He's got some pretty good skill, and he can score some pretty nice goals. That's kind of what put him on the map back in the QMJHL, his scoring ability. In fact, if you take a look at the scouting report here, he is an incredibly skilled offensive winger, he has a remarkably accurate shot to go along with his magic hands, could be better defensively, but his game is based around his acute sense of what is happening on the ice in the offensive zone. All in all, a deadly player who possesses good size, elite-level skill, and smooth skating. That scouting report was back from 2014, before the draft. And so, as we noted, it's just really unfortunate the way his development has gone down because a lot of these aspects haven't really showcased themselves at the NHL level. Now, don't get me wrong, he is great in the AHL. His total AHL numbers with the Grand Rapids Griffins go as follows right here: 101 points in 186 games played, spread over 5 years. Now, he had a lot worse years than others, and a lot better years than others too. But, in particular, right out the gate, he was really, really strong as a brand new AHL forward, with 51 points in 74 games in his rookie season in that league. So, it's just really unfortunate how things have gone down, where now it's gotten to a point where he is kind of that AHL, NHL tweener kind of guy. The Red Wings have him up for some games, but he's in the AHL a good bunch too because he's injured. You also have to remember that he went unclaimed on waivers twice last year, so every team in the NHL had a chance to get Svechnikov for free twice, and both times every team said no. So it makes the most sense in the world to me to see the Winnipeg Jets go out there and give him what would be a PTO, an invitation to camp, a tryout. Okay, we like you, but not enough to give you a contract. What we are going to give you, though, is a chance. Come over to our camp, see how you mesh with our guys, we'll see if you're good enough to actually stick around with the team, and assuming you're healthy, assuming you work out well, we will give you a two-way contract, because a guy like Svechnikov, the way he is developed, he's not really going to get any big-time money in the NHL soon, so going from a PTO, which is relatively risk-free, to a two-way contract, which is also pretty risk-free, for a guy who did produce 8 points in 21 games last season with Detroit, honestly sounds like a pretty good bargain. In fact, if you just do the math, let's do 8 divided by 21 multiplied out by 82, you have yourselves a projected pace of 31 points in a full 82-game season. Now, that is kind of misleading, because Svechnikov has not played a full 82-game season, far from it actually. But the production is there, the skills are kind of there, the frame is there, the likable personality is there too. He's going to be a guy that, like him or hate him in terms of how he plays the game, you're going to like the player underneath the helmet because he's just a nice guy. So, Winnipeg fans, talk to me in the comments what you think about Evgeny Svechnikov coming over to your organization, presumably on a PTO, eventually onto a two-way contract, assuming that he is healthy, which it appears he is going to be soon. I do really think that there is a lot of potential here. It's just, you're gonna have to do some work to really dig it out, because the Red Wings have been kind of gnawing away at this project for the past 6 years. Ken Holland to Steve Yzerman, they've given him an opportunity here and there, but he just couldn't work with it. Through no fault of his own, he's had a really difficult and unlucky time developing in the NHL, so maybe a change of scenery is going to be what he needs to go out there and actually get things on the right path. So, heading into next season, I could see him as a potential bottom 6 scoring threat if everything goes well and he gets sheltered minutes, not really anything too difficult right off the bat. Also, just give him some time to really adjust his legs back to NHL speed with consistency. I think that's the big thing right there, with consistency. But at the end of the day, you're getting yourselves a pretty nice forward, I think, and an even better guy. So Jets fans, again, talk to me in the comments what you think. Red Wings fans, talk to me in the comments what you think about Svechnikov leaving the organization. I know it kind of stings, but it's like, you know, you just kind of hope for the best with this kind of guy, right? And if you're going to go out there and say that Svechnikov is leaving a big gaping hole in the lineup, I'm going to have to call you out on your cap right there. That's probably not the case. Steve Yzerman has a plan, and for the most part, the Red Wings, I think they do have some pretty good players in the pipeline to replace Svechnikov should you desire somebody of his stature suiting into your lineup instead. So talk to me in the comments what you think. If you enjoyed this video, and bye.